It was very important because we got involved in the police, not letting them know when he was having a demonstration, going right up to the police station and challenging them anything what they did.
Housing was also one of Kath's passions. She was part of the movement for the redevelopment of Moss Side in the 1970s.
I mean, I was born around here, and it gets you very angry that you face it. They say, well, you've got to go wherever they've got places for you. This is before they even consider anything else. It's not an ideal community, but it is a community where people know one another, and you don't want to move out. We've got a lot of old people, we've got a lot of black people in the area that feel very, very strongly about it.
Although Kath supported the redevelopment, she had reservations about the way it was being done. One of those who worked with Kath was Eloise Edwards. Together, they worked on many projects, particularly on education.
At the time as well, there was the issue of black children and their identities. And because we felt that the woman was always the person who was looking after the child in terms of going to school when the child had any problems and so on, we felt that we needed to address that issue. We went to one of the local primary schools and suggested to them that we weren't happy that the history and culture weren't being taught in the schools. And we were intending to do something about it. And what we did was actually set up the Black Women's Mutual Aid. Out of that came the Saturday schools.
We wanted young black people to see role models, positive role models, black people who had qualifications and actually passing on another side of the history. It's interesting in our summer schools. That's where you have the children all the summer holidays and the little mites walking like this. And when they come out, they're walking proud and strong. And it gives me such a boost when I see that. I've been asked a couple of times to go up and talk to some of the African students at the university. So this is what can we do to help? Because I was very worried about these students going back in the leadership positions and knowing nothing about the black community. They didn't know nothing because the university used to kind of cream off the leadership. And they asked what they can do to help. So I linked a black student into a home, into a black family who had children around about 12 or 13, mainly to help them with the homework, but also to be a kind of a big brother, to take them swimming and also take them up to the university to see there's a bigger world outside there.
Of all the projects that Kath was involved in at this time, one of the most important was the Abasindi group.
Abasindi is a Zulu word. It means survivors. And our motto is, I'm the only person that speaks Zulu with a Lancashire accent. Sizalelewe Uku Sindi. It means we were born to survive. Previously, the premises that we occupied had been the Black Women's Cooperative. And there were splits, 1979. Because although it was a Black Women's Cooperative, it was actually controlled by men. And there was kind of a minor rebellion. Anyway, Abasindi started off. We started off with no money, no furniture, but determined not to take a penny from the state, because the Black Women's Cooperative was funded. And when you get funded, then not what you're doing is important, the money is important. Abasindi itself has been involved in a number of campaigns, a number of deportation campaigns, Esther Ann Kelly campaign, and we've won all the campaigns that we've been involved in. We used to raise money in different ways. What we did naturally, we plaited hair, we sold African clothes, and African dancing, different forms of African dancing and drumming also came to the fore.
Although Kath is no longer with us, her initiative as well as her personal example continued to inspire those who worked with her at the Abasindi.
If I remember correctly, and this is going back more years than probably I care to remember, we decided, we had a number of meetings and we used to sit down and talk for long in the evening, and I think the opening hours of the cooperative, in a sense, it was sort of sealed in the lateness with which we would sit down and talk and debate everything you could think of. I think we probably thought we could change the world. And we took a decision that on the 1st of January 1980, was it, Shirley?
Yes, 1980.
That the Abasindi would then be named, and the name, in a sense, was also significant because it meant survivors. And we didn't see it as surviving the split with the old cooperative. We saw it as survival of black people, as Kath would say, in the African diaspora.
I remember very well that if you wanted to actually meet people and talk about black people, whatever, Abasindi is where you went late in the evening, and you know the door is open. It's a very friendly, welcoming place.
One of the things I think I've always been proud of Abasindi is the way people graduated there, not in a crisis for information. And it was as though if the information didn't come through Abasindi somehow, it wasn't quite credible.
Yes.
And it puts you sometimes on a tremendous strain because you are seen as some kind of know-it-all, which basically you weren't. You were just, in a sense, trying to understand what was happening around you in context with everybody else.
I remember one Friday night, we was sat there, we must have had a pile of mail like this. I think you might have been going through the mail and somebody had asked us to speak at this, somebody had asked us to do this, somebody had asked us to respond to the other. And I remember Kath saying, who are all these people? And then she just like launched into one of, you know, off the backs of black people. And who are these groups? They're not even black groups. The white people that are wanting our opinion on something so that they can get credit for doing something else. And it was like, we'll deal with that when we've dealt with the things that are really important to us.
Wozamoya,